What we are announcing today in terms of the mortgage resolution bill is very much building on the package of measures that we first unveiled in the summer of 2011. We identified at that stage the need to have an independent office which would be able to impose binding resolutions to people who are suffering from mortgage distress. Since then, the government have not taken those proposals on board. The mortgage arrears crisis is getting out of control, and the package of measures that the government has announced in recent months will have the result of shifting the balance of power very firmly in favour of the banks. The government have themselves acknowledged a number of times now that their strategy for dealing with mortgage arrears has failed abysmally. And what they have announced in recent weeks is more of the same. It's a continuation of existing policies whereby they're giving more and more power to the banks and the borrower is left marginalised. We need to address that situation, and we have been saying this for quite some time. The only way of getting a proper resolution to this problem is by having an independent office in place which can actually examine a family's individual financial circumstances and impose, if necessary, a binding mortgage resolution order. It would be preferable if the banks and the borrowers sat down and could reach agreement, but we have to look at the evidence so far. The evidence so far is that that is simply not happening. The banks are buying time, they're putting people on interest only for 3 months at a time. They are protecting their balance sheets, they are hoarding their capital, and they're not giving families the fresh start that they deserve. This bill, if it is enacted, will give people that fresh start, and it will also be a major boost to the economy because it will give people certainty about their financial position going forward. Well, I think it's quite clear when you look at what the government is proposing, for example, in the new insolvency service. They are proposing that that service will be able to deal with mortgages. So the office will be there dealing with mortgages already. But the way that they are structuring it, it means that if a deal is, let's say, proposed by the personal insolvency practitioner, for that deal to become binding, it has to be accepted by creditors of the borrower holding at least 65% of their total debt. So in effect, in 99 cases out of 100, the bank, which is the holder of the mortgage, will have a veto. So what we are saying is that you remove that power of veto, and I think that is what is at the core of this bill. We are removing from the banks the power to veto a solution to a person's mortgage. So the staff will already be there. We are removing the veto. The mortgage will be considered by the insolvency service already, but we are putting it on a different footing, that the mortgage is the priority, and we are only speaking here about mortgages in respect of the family home. And as we know, about 1 in 4 family home mortgages are in distress, either in arrears or have already been restructured. This is a very serious national crisis. The government has not got to grips with it so far. We believe that this would represent a seismic shift forward and would actually give borrowers a tremendous opportunity to start afresh on a sustainable footing.